Oh boy. Who can tell me what they're looking at? Let me say first thing, it's not perfectly tuned. It's barely functional. But this is where we are. No, I didn't bring the smoke over yet. What we have is a stuttering fan, which I think is a good thing for now. And I replaced the lights. Red is stop, green is go. That's pretty obvious. Got more red than green, so I think that's what I need to work on. I did engineer a contraption to hold these reed switches, which are just tiny little flecks of something. I'm seeing if I can find one here. I had some spares, but I don't know what I did with them. At any rate, a reed switch is a glass tube with a pair of bimetal materials in them, and when they get magnetic fields, they attract and they close a circuit. So they're normally open. If there's a magnet flying by, or if they're flying by a magnet, they close the circuit. When you see these lights come on, the red light is sent over to the lower magnet, and that's the stop magnet, and when it's red, it means I'm applying the brakes. When it's green, it goes up to the upper magnet, and that says I'm applying the gas. Gas brake, gas brake, gas brake is the idea. And we're kind of doing it. The other thing I had to do, I ran over and got my triplet PS305. I can't say enough about this thing. It is just a wonderful piece of equipment. Because this relay, is still big. I didn't get the new ones yet. So I've got it plugged into this 30 volt power supply. I'm only using 12 volts though, and not even half an amp, okay? So it's not the power, it's the energy, or something like that. Any rate, you see this solid line, that means this solid line, the solid light, that means the idle circuit is energized. But the idle circuit is not connected because the relay is energized because the motor's running, right? Now I'm going to pretend to stop the motor by, what? Hold on. No, I can't do that. Yeah, I can. I can, but I don't want to. Don't worry about it. I'm going to pretend to stop the motor by lowering this voltage. And that's going to switch it from pulsing to the brake, to the idle, which will be a slower but constant fan motion. So let's watch the fan. See if I can get you both in here. Okay, there you go. Watch the fan. Lowering the volts to 9, just about 7, about 4, there we go. It stopped pulsing at about 3 volts, and we're now operating off of the solid speed, and the pulsing is still being monitored, but it's not being channeled into the circuit because this relay is triggered open. And when it's open, we're in idle. All right. If I start speeding up again, let's see how it works. Oops, get my hand out of the way. You watch that. About 12 volts. Let's see, it wanted to, but it didn't. There we go. About 13 volts. It starts pulsing again. And the idle circuit is bypassed. That means the solenoid inside here has been triggered, and we are now in the closed position, which is normally open, and the open position, which is normally closed. So we're switching it. All right, and we're in low speed. And that's what it looks like. And that's what's happening. That's the little reed switches are resting next to the magnet, and when it goes by, they get a tickle of energy, and they close a circuit, and that closes the circuit for these amplifier chips. And one of the chips sending positive, the other one is sending positive or negative, And so one is a brake and one is power. Red's the brake. So there it is. Now what? If I go faster, you see it's still trying to pulse, but it's pulsing so fast, I think we're going to get a fairly steady beat. Not now. The brake is overpowering. The brake is overpowering. This is where Robert gets involved and helps me understand how to deal with that. Like I said, I wasn't sure. Oh, one of my switches all messed up. See that? He popped out. My design. Oh, did you see the design? I don't know if I got. Yeah, okay, there it is. It's like double-barreled shotgun put together by somebody who didn't know what he was doing, or he wanted to shoot around the corners. But I slide those switches down inside those tubes, and I bolted up on top, as you can see here. And that is supposed to keep it in alignment. And that one pulled out. They're not glued in. I was going to super glue them in, but I wanted to make sure I could adjust them. This is my adjustment mechanism, in and out, for more or less positioning, whatnot. And that's what I had to do. All right. So the smoke's over there. I'm a little reluctant. It's only 4:30, I guess. I could bring it over, and all I do is wire it in, right? And give it 8 volts for the power, and then see what happens. I'm nervous about that, though. But I could do it. I have time. May as well go for broke, huh? We're here. What are we waiting for? I'm not convinced I understand the circuit well enough, but at least I can make it do what it's supposed to, and I guess that's the important thing. I mean, I have all this stuff down here, and it's just sort of not involved. Maybe that's okay. Maybe I can just pull that wire out and save some energy. I took out a bunch of stuff in the front end, yet it still seems to work, so I don't know what that was about. I guess I need to have a bit of a conversation, and I mean, it's not like I need to know, but it'd be good if I did, because then I know how it works. Okay, well, there it is. That button is just there. I never used it. I just put it on there, but I didn't use it. So I changed the indicator lights. That was cool. I've added the switch, created the bracket, and I did get a brighter bulb in here, but it didn't help. Still needed all that volts, and that's when I went over and got Mr. Triplet. And he pings us up. He gives us 12 DC volts, and that triggers it. And then we can see what happens. When this is triggered at lower speed, I can, because now it's independent, I can run that at low speed. We can see what the bulbs are doing and what the fan should be doing. And now we need to know if that jiggle dance turns into smoke and puff or just a bunch of crap. I don't know yet. Maybe. I don't know. I'll go see. I'll go see if anyone needs help upstairs. If I'm good to go, I may try it. All right. Later, gang.